I'm Edie Lush, Executive Editor of Hub Culture, and really pleased to be joined now by Julie Andersen, Global Executive Director of Plastic Oceans International. Thanks for coming along to Transition Forum Online.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, despite COVID-19 and the reduced consumption, we are still seeing plastic being one of the world's most visible issues that confronts the climate. I think there's like 80,000 tons of plastic spreading across the ocean. Plastic waste still represents about 73% of what washes up on shore. But you guys are doing quite a lot about it. So I'd love you to tell me about some of your projects. Tell me about what Rethink Refill is, first of all.
So Rethink Refill is a way to engage the youth and students into thinking about plastic differently, thinking about reusing items, taking their water and not using plastic bottles, but reusing it and using refill stations. What we do is we implement refill stations, and it also highlights the importance of drinkable water for these refill stations. And we provide refill bottles to students, and we give them the opportunity to use them or to sell them and to raise money for other school projects and other things. So it really is trying to give them the sense of empowerment that they can raise money and they can see the use of coming up with new solutions to reducing plastic in a different way.
I love that. So it's great to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs as well. You work within local communities and you call them the blue communities. So tell me a little about that.
Well, we bring up the blue communities because it's part of our Rethink Plastic movement, which really came out of seeing the problems that you addressed earlier, this growth of plastic pollution and its impact on the ecosystems and our health, and how do we address this? And then by addressing this, we see more and more, it's not just going to be top-down giant companies, corporations doing this, but it's really going and addressing the local communities that understand the local economies and the cultural hurdles and intricacies, and who really believe in solutions. And so we really do partner with these local organizations, local companies, and implement different ways to promote a circular economy, but from a ground up and empowering from a local level. And we call
these
the blue communities.
So give me an example of how you do that.
So we work in Chile, we work with a local company that is a recycling company. They work with collectors, recycling collectors. They come up with products, and they're only distributed from that company. And the idea is it serves as an educational tool from of that product, educating that the product is made out of recyclable goods. It's only distributed locally. And so then it ends up serving as education, and it also serves as a way to generate income locally.
Really interesting. And I think you're also involved. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, another example that we're working on right now, and because of COVID and over the last few months, is that obviously the increase in PPE and masks and the disposable masks. We are working with a company in Spain, in Barcelona, and it is coming up with a way for a reusable silicone mask with an N95 type of filter that can be put into it, but it's made out of recyclable material. And the idea is that it would only be distributed there, but then the technology is open source and can then be transferred to other locations and other communities.
So one of the things that I'm really interested going on in Europe is the fact that the recovery plan that's been proposed by the EU could in fact be financed in part by a tax on single-use plastic. And I know that you've been very instrumental in looking at plastic tax as well. So I wonder if you could give me some insight on where things are and where the obstacles and opportunities exist.
I think that's why we work with blue communities and we focus on the local communities, because so difficult to see such one problem, plastic pollution, with one solution, that a tax will be applicable to every community. I mean, so the biggest hurdle is being able to disseminate one solution across the board. And that's where it's so important to really educate from the ground, on the ground, in local communities, and implement tax incentives or recycling incentives based on the community's needs, both their economic and cultural needs.
Julie, thank you so much for joining us here during Transition Forum Online. I'm Edie Lush with Hub Culture, and thank you again so much.
Excellent. Thank you so much.